nice spoonful.
Can be a way to connect people, you know?
How to make ratatouille at home.
Something that's very hard to watch and not try to indulge in something.
The combination of a strawberry with cheese is actually delicious. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Film and Flavor. I'm Zain Hassan.
Hello, I'm Ahmed Zayani. Great cinema can be a feast for the eyes, and a great cinematic meal can be as fulfilling as a literal feast.
Done right, watching food on screen can be a very sensorial experience akin to actually consuming it, especially when it becomes a part of the narrative itself. So in each episode, we are going to be recreating a dish from a famous movie. But today's dish is especially going to be a real treat.
Yes, and this is what we're going to do today, as we're starting with something absolutely delicious. We're making ratatouille, the beautiful vegetarian dish from the famous movie of the same name.
See this?
Now, Zain, I don't know about you, but I am very excited for this.
I am very excited as well. Have you ever watched the film?
Oh yes, this movie actually goes back a long time for me. I first saw this when it actually came out in cinemas.
Oh, really?
This is years and years back, and back then Pixar had a wonderful track record going on. They had previously released the Toy Story movies, A Bug's Life, and all these different films that are touching on a lot of nerves with people. But
Yes.
I think Ratatouille hit on a different level as well for a lot of folks.
It did. I think especially for like foodies like me, it showed me that food can be a lot more than just food. It can be a way to connect people, you know? It's always been a way for me and my sisters, my siblings to bond with each other while watching the film itself. So it has a very beautiful message as well.
Oh yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm a guy that at this point I can't watch a film without having something to munch on.
Same.
Whether it's an actual meal or junk, there has to be something there. I always tie specific movies to certain foods, certain items. And with Ratatouille, it's something that's very hard to watch and not try to indulge in something.
Exactly. I mean, it was like one of my childhood dreams to try the ratatouille itself.
Oh, and today you're gonna get to realize that dream, right?
Yes. Hopefully, I don't know.
Hopefully, I mean, I know.
I hope it tastes as good as it looks.
I'm sure it does. Pixar had not failed this yet. As you know, they made the Toy Story movies. At that time, they made Finding Nemo, A Bug's Life, The Incredibles, a fantastic track record. But I think with Ratatouille, they hit on a different nerve.
They did. I think with great food comes great connection.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, food has always been a way to kind of like bond with family members, you know, over a great meal. So the message of the movie was just very beautiful to me. I never got it as a kid because I watched it as a kid. It was one of my favorite movies as a child. It still is actually one of my favorite movies. I think it has a very beautiful message, but I never really got it, you know, as a kid. I don't think any kid would kind of get the message.
I don't think so. And I think it's a movie that grows up with you, that you appreciate in a different sense when you're older. Like even myself, I watched it when I was pretty much your age, maybe a bit older. I don't want to date myself that much. But the way I see it now is much different than I did back then.
Yeah, there are many different interpretations to the message itself. The way that I look at it is probably different than the way they...
Oh, absolutely. And it talks about ambition, desire, trying to find your right place in the world, achieving your dreams despite the challenges that might face you. Because who would have thought of a movie where a rat wants to become a chef? But that's something that does connect with a lot of people, because despite the outlandish appearance of the movie, it does have its heart in the right place, and it does have something that for a lot of people to connect to.
watching it as a kid, looking at like the way that Remy was handling situations and how he was going through all those obstacles as a little tiny rat in France, it really truly did inspire me in many ways. I think it still does to this day. I mean, like watching that movie kind of just makes me want to go like, I have to get my act right. I have to do things with my life. I need to just fulfill all of my dreams because they are possible. You know, if a little tiny rat can do it, why can't I? It's just a very beautiful story.
I love the way you put it. If a rat can do it, why can't I? And that rings so true. I think with the advent of technology nowadays, social media being what it is, I think for a lot of people, especially your age, the opportunity to pursue something you're truly passionate with is much more possible than ever before. And this is a beautiful reflection of that. It's also a very beautiful portrayal of family.
It is.
And in a way, a very realistic portrayal of family, right? Expectations versus reality. How do you appease your parents, your siblings, while still being true to yourself? Those are messages that ring true back then and still ring true today.
I think that's the whole point of the movie. That's the message that they were trying to like convey. But I also think another message they were trying to convey was that food can look absolutely delicious in a very, very unrealistic way, I guess you could say, because of how good it looked. So what was like watching it as a teenager, what was like one of the dishes in the film that you really, really, truly wanted to try?
Oh man, I think the better question is, what was a dish that I didn't want to try? Because even when they were portraying Gusteau's restaurant as not what it was before, when he was alive, even those dishes going out of the kitchen, they still look delicious. Even the frozen foods that were supposed to be more of a joke. The microwavable things that he was doing, what is it, burritos and whatnot, that still look good. I think that's the beauty of animation, is that they can take anything and make it look so appetizing.
The way that they were able to convince us that the combination of a strawberry with cheese is actually delicious will never not amaze me, because I did truly I did try it.
Really? And how was that?
It was very tasty.
You know, this might be a sacrilege for a lot of people, but I love combining fruits with salty foods.
Same.
For example,
this is what cheese boards are for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And a lot of people hate me for this, but I love pineapple on a pizza. Have you ever tried it?
We can agree to disagree on that one, because I'm not a big
we'll
fan
get
of
to
pineapple.
that in a later episode, because I have to change your mind on this.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
Maybe. We'll see. Baby steps. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, because I'm sure this is going to come back later on. But a moment that really stays with me is that scene where Anton Ego sees and tastes the dish prepared by Chef Remy.
Absolutely. That was such a beautiful scene. I think it perfectly represented how food can just take us back down to memory lane and just like kind of, it reminds us, sometimes there are certain meals that just remind you of your childhood.
Oh, it encapsulates so many emotions, doesn't it?
Yes. And on that note, who doesn't remember that iconic scene where Chef Remy, the little rat, creates the iconic dish that is ratatouille? So today, our very own Chef Ali Youssef will be recreating that same dish of the Southern French cuisine, a dish that is near and dear not only to the little chef's heart, but also to the food critic Anton Ego's heart. So let us head over to the kitchen and see how Chef Ali will be preparing the dish.
Hello, I am Chef Ali Youssef. Welcome to Film and Flavor TV show. On today's episode, I'm going to show you how to make ratatouille at home, just like Remy or the little chef, the little mouse. Remember that one? The movie Ratatouille made it for Anton Ego. To prepare ratatouille, we have fresh ingredients like bell pepper, red and yellow, and I have zucchini, yellow squash, eggplant, then fresh garlic, fresh thyme, then we all love onion. Then we have also white onion and tomato paste. You can use full can. And then we have also mascarpone cheese, olive oil, water, and of course for seasoning you need only salt and black pepper. Before we start, we're going to preheat the oven so you won't wait long later. And just put it on 190 degree so you don't burn it. It's vegetables only. We're just going to need half onion. We don't need it all. Followed by garlic. Followed by eggplant. Followed by zucchini. Followed by yellow squash. Followed by red pepper. And now it's time to do the magic. Right. First of all, we're going to take a tomato paste and place it in the baking dish. Spread it all over it. Then we're going to put first of all, we're going to put the garlic and the onion, starting with the onions. Followed by water, just 3/4 or 3/4 of water. And then we mix it. We make sure everything is combined together. And now we're going to put the vegetable in sequence, starting with the eggplant. It has to be from outside to inside. Then eggplant, zucchini, yellow squash, followed by one each pepper. And we do that again. Got that all the way. Keep it going till you finish your round. Now we're going to add a bit of olive oil. Also black pepper and salt to taste. We're going to cover it with parchment paper. We just cover it. Now we're going to put it in the oven for 45 minutes, and then yes, we'll get back to you. And our magical dish is almost ready. Now I think our 45 minutes is done. Now we can pick it up from the oven. Careful, use your gloves so you don't burn yourself. Now, there you go. And that's your plate. You don't have to be professional to be a chef to cook your food at home. It's just simple. And don't forget the cheese. And here you have it, Ratatouille from Ratatouille movie. Everything you watch on screen, you can make it at home. You don't have to be an expert to cook anything tasty.
Welcome back. Here we have the beautifully plated dish of ratatouille made up of different vegetables. We have zucchini, tomatoes, peppers, all perfectly spiraled and vibrant in color. I bet this ratatouille tastes just as amazing as it looks. What do you think, Ahmed?
This looks absolutely beautiful. And I remember watching the movie and seeing Remy carefully arranging the vegetables in a perfect spiral. It was like an edible work of art. This is the key to making the dish as beautiful as it is right here. And I don't know about you, but I am really, really hungry. And it's tempting, too tempting to just sit here and not eat this.
I think it looks absolutely delicious.
Should we go ahead? You know, I think I'm gonna make a mess of myself, so I will definitely need to put this down. Oh, you're not gonna wait for me, are you?
Let's dig in.
Dig in, yes.
Okay.
And you know, I wish the camera had like this function where it can zoom in on me and we do this retracing my steps of my childhood.
It's just like an explosion of flavors.
Oh yeah, because I can completely understand what they were going with in the movie when Ego had his first spoonful of this.
Yeah, they picked the perfect dish for that scene.
Oh yeah, and you know what? It's something that's very simple, but has such a burst of flavor.
Yeah, it's an explosion of flavors. I don't think you can ever get enough of ratatouille. And the movie perfectly represented that.
Mm-hmm. No. Another guy that loves my spicy food. I can't go anywhere without my bottle of hot sauce. This would not need that. You know, let me try to get some of the cheese going on there. Okay.
I think this is the only exception for non-spicy food. I think it's because of how many flavors and because of the perfect balance of, like, you know, the cream cheese on top. I like that, by the way. That little, like,
this dollop of
that's
cheese.
personality, that's character. It just shows that Chef Ali Youssef just like kind of like, you know, made it his own original.
Yeah, because I don't think this was in the movie.
It wasn't in the movie, I don't think.
And I love it when a chef does add his own small touch. You know, make it personal. Make it something that is.
It adds character to the.
Absolutely, it's very Chef Ali.
Color you can smell. There is excellence all around you. You need only be aware to stop and savor.
No,
Are you
I can be like that sometimes.
Are you forgetful?
Sometimes, yeah, but mostly clumsy. So to see people who are clumsy actually succeed and do things in that field is truly inspiring.
And you feel represented.
I feel represented very much.
You know, I am clumsy too, but I've never associated with Remy before. Oh, sorry, with linguine. I think I need to rewatch to see, okay, does that connect with me as well or not? But I loved his journey from being basically a, a waiter in the restaurant?
He was a waiter. He started off as a waiter, yeah.
And he ended up running the restaurant for the most part. I mean, with Remy.
He's in charge of soup.
He was in charge of soup. Oh, okay.
Too clumsy to be a waiter.
He was too clumsy to be a busboy as well, I believe.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. But what was your, like, favorite part of the film? Like, favorite, like a scene that you just felt like made the movie stand out a bit more to you? Because I have a scene like that. It's a very cute, very homey scene.
You know what? I loved the the reactions to whether it's the health inspector or the other chef when they walk into the kitchen and see the rats and how the rats tie them up.
Yes,
Because in any other film, that would be a horror scene.
that was funny.
But the way it plays off, it's very comedic, it's very lighthearted.
Yeah.
And the whole movie itself had a these sentimental moments,
Yeah.
but it wasn't like in your face with that. I mean, it kept on the level.
It was very like, they downplayed that.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, in a way, but it still had a heart.
Yeah, it did.
So what about you? What's your favorite scene?
I'd say it's a very underrated scene. It's when Linguini wakes up to find Remy in the kitchen cooking an omelet, which, by the way, I really wanted to try as a kid as well. The omelet looked really tasty. I think that scene was it was very nice. It was very sweet, very wholesome. Kind of showed you how it gave you a deeper insight on how their relationship was like growing and evolving each day. So yeah, it was just a really cute scene that I really liked.
I knew this would happen. I let a rat into my place and tell him what's mine is his. Egg's gone. Stupid! He's stolen food and hit the road. What did I expect? That's what I get for trusting a rat. What? Hey, is that for me? That's good.
You know, speaking to the balance that Chef Ali just mentioned, there's something so magical about how Ratatouille, the movie, balances humor, heart, and of course, food. I mean, who could forget that pivotal moment when Anton Ego, the food critic, takes a bite of the Ratatouille dish and has that emotional flashback?
That scene was such a powerful moment in the film. It just shows you that it's not just about food, it's about how food has the ability to transport you and to evoke feelings such as memories and that are so just deeply personal. And that's what Remy's Ratatouille did for Anton Ego. It was simple, but it hit him in a way that no other dish ever could.
You know, this is exactly how I imagined Ratatouille would taste like. The vegetables have this soft, melt-in-your-mouth texture, and the sauce brings it all together. And I understand why this is so important to the movie, because it's a big, heaping bite of pure nostalgia.
It's the kind of dish that is not just about the eating part, it's about enjoying the experience, just like in Ratatouille, but how the simplest things in life can bring us so much joy, whether it's a movie, food, or even following our dreams. So I think that brings us to the end of our episode. Thank you, Chef Ali, for the delicious Ratatouille. It was as tasty as it looked. Ahmed, do you have anything else to add?
Oh, absolutely. This was pure joy in a plate, and it was nostalgic. It was happiness as can only be given by Chef Ali. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Film and Flavor. Make sure to join us tomorrow for another wonderful movie and another delicious dish.